Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Fazal Softwala and I am a level 1 student at Rayan School, Islamabad campus. So today I am here with a new Maya. So our today's Maya topic is don't tell me about a festival or tradition from another country. So let's start our today's Maya. First of all, call the Maya for questions. Let's start our today's Maya.
Hi, how are you?
So, Maya, our today's topic is not tell me about a festival or tradition from another country. So let's start our today's Maya. First of all, Maya, my first question from you is what is the name of the festival and which country?
Land called Loy Krathong. It's all about releasing decorated baskets onto rivers and waterways. Think of it like thousands of tiny glowing boats drifting under the full moon. The tradition comes from ancient Brahmin beliefs, originally honoring the goddess of water, but it's become a way for people to let go of negativity and bad luck. It's a really visually stunning event and takes place every year in November. Does that sound like the kind of interesting answer you were hoping for? You're right. That was pretty short. My bad. Let me expand on that. Loy Krathong actually has a fascinating history, rooted in a folk tale about a princess who saved her kingdom by releasing a floating basket to appease the water spirits. Each Krathong, the basket itself, is handmade, usually from banana leaves and decorated with flowers, incense, and a small candle. People write wishes on the baskets before releasing them, making it a really personal and hopeful moment. It's often celebrated alongside the Yiping Festival in northern Thailand, which involves releasing thousands of paper lanterns into the sky. So you get this incredible combination of floating lights both on the water and above. Would something like that be more what you were looking for?
Okay, so Maya, that's really great answer. So Maya,
Is everything all
my
right?
next question from you is what is the celebrated and how long does the celebration last? Please give me very interesting answer on this topic. Let's start to answer Maya and please give.
Okay, so Loy Krathong and Yiping together actually create a 3-day celebration. It's not just one single event. It's tied to the full moon of the 12th lunar month, which usually falls in November. The idea behind what's celebrated is really multi-layered. On the surface, people are giving thanks to the water goddess Frame Kanka for a good rainy season and asking for her blessings for the year ahead. The release of the Krathongs represents letting go of grudges, regrets, and bad luck, physically floating them away. But there's also this really beautiful spiritual element. Buddhists believe the merit you gain from the ceremony can help improve your karma, and the candles you light symbolize guidance in the darkness. That's where Yipeng comes in. The lantern release is also about purification and good intentions. People believe each lantern carries away their troubles and carries their wishes to the heavens. So you have this really layered experience happening simultaneously, giving thanks, releasing negativity, seeking blessings, and improving your spiritual well-being. What makes it unique is that each region puts their spin on it. In Chiang Mai, the Yiping Festival is huge with the spectacular mass lantern release. Other places might focus more on boat races along the river, beauty pageants choosing the Krathong Quink, or traditional dances and parades. And the whole thing is really vibrant, and it's not just confined to the religious rituals. There's a lot of lively celebration and community spirit. It's a time for families to spend together and honor their ancestors, so it's deeply embedded in Thai culture. The energy during those 3 days is just incredible, almost magical. Does that level of detail hit what you were looking for? Are you still there?
Question from you is that what is the origin of the festival and how do old is the tradition? Please give me very interesting answer on this topic. Let's start the answer.
The organizing behind Loy Krathong varies quite a bit depending on where in Thailand you are. It's not like a single central authority running everything. Usually it's a combination of local temple committees, community groups, and sometimes government support at the provincial level. The temples are super central. They often host the main ceremonies and competitions for the most beautiful krathong. And that's actually a big deal. There are contests where people make incredibly ornate baskets hoping to win prizes. But most of it really comes down to families and communities getting involved in preparing their own krathongs and lanterns. Each region kind of manages its own festival with local traditions, like the boat races you see in some provinces. As for how old the tradition is, that's where things get interesting. The roots go way back to ancient times, originating with the Brahmin people in India hundreds of years ago, around the 1st century. But it wasn't exactly the Loy Krathong we know now. Over time, the festival was adapted and blended with local Thai beliefs and Buddhism. The earliest mentions of something resembling Loy Krathong come from historical records in the Sukhothai period, which was around the 13th, 15th centuries. So that's where most historians place its real origins as a Thai festival. The combination of the lantern release tradition with the water baskets came later and really solidified during the Lana period in northern Thailand. So while the core idea has ancient roots, the whole combination of krathongs, lanterns, and Buddhist merit making as we know it today is probably 600 to 700 years old. Pretty wild to think about a tradition lasting that long, right?
Really great. So my next question from you is it national holiday and how you really participates in it? So please give me a very interesting answer on this topic. Let's start.
I'm curious, when you say national holiday, are you thinking about Loy Krathong specifically or generally asking about national holidays in different countries and how people participate? Because Loy Krathong isn't actually a national public holiday, though it's celebrated throughout Thailand. It's more like a cultural festival that people still work and go to school for. It just happens that everyone's drawn to participate because of the beauty of the event. If you're curious how I'd participate hypothetically, if I could experience it like a person, I'd be completely captivated by the lantern release. I think there's something magical about the idea of writing wishes and watching them float up into the night sky. And honestly, I'm drawn to the whole cultural aspect of letting go of negativity. That feels pretty universal to me. The whole thing feels really hopeful and beautiful. Hey, still with me?
Okay, so my next question from you is that is it celebrated all over the country or only in certain regions and has festival changed over time? Please give me a very interesting answer on these topics. Let's start answer.
So while Loy Krathong is celebrated all over Thailand, it definitely has regional variations. It's not uniform across the entire country. There are some places where it's more prominent than others. In Chiang Mai, especially, the Yipeng Festival gets all the attention with its huge lantern release, which kind of overshadows the traditional Krathong releasing ceremony. This is a very famous version of the festival. But in Bangkok and the central areas of Thailand, the focus is really on the Krathongs floating on the Chao Phraya River, plus local temple ceremonies. Down in the south, in provinces like Phuket or Krabi, it's celebrated more by the beaches. People release krathongs into the ocean rather than rivers. And you're right to ask if it's changed over time. It absolutely has. Originally, the festival was very focused on the agricultural calendar and appeasing the water spirits, but Buddhist influence heavily shaped it. It went from being purely about water worship to incorporating merit making and offering thanks. Also, the lantern aspect, releasing lanterns, especially in large numbers, isn't that ancient? That's more of a 20th century phenomenon that became popular. In recent times, there's been increasing tourism around the festival, which has both positive and negative effects. On one hand, it brings economic benefits to Thailand, but on the other hand, sometimes it can be a bit overly commercialized. Plastic krathongs are becoming more common instead of the traditional biodegradable ones made from banana leaves. So yeah, the traditions continue, but they're definitely evolving alongside Thai society and tourism. Everything okay? You've been a bit quiet.
Okay, so Maya, my next question from you is that what are the main activities during the festivals and are the priorities of public events? Please give me very interesting answer on this topic. Let's start the answer, Maya. And please give me learn a lot.
Oh, there's a ton going on during Loy Krathong and Yipeng. The most visually stunning thing is definitely
मैंने दो माया की हैं
the
उसके अलावा
release of
कोडिंग की
the
बुक वन बुक टू
krathongs and
की है
lanterns as people
और
release their
इसके अलावा
krathongs,
क्लास ली है
these
क्लास तो सारा चलो
decorated
उसके बाद
baskets with
बस
candles and incense. They're making a wish
और दो
or
इंटरव्यू
offering
की है
gratitude. The rivers
नहीं
become
अब दोबारा करो ना
absolutely
मेरे
covered with
इंटरव्यू
these glowing
डन छोटे
boats.
बच्चों के
It's
साथ
this
डन है
incredible visual
कहना
of
पोस्ट डन है
floating light
फेसलेस डन है
everywhere.
और
And
इसके अलावा
simultaneously, you'll see
फेसलेस 600 तो
the
नहीं
release of thousands upon thousands of lanterns into the sky. That's more of the Yupeng side in the north, but there's way more to it than just the releases. There are
तुम्हारा कर
krathong
वैसे है
making
पूरी
workshops where people learn to craft their own baskets. Then there
so
are contests
yeah, my
judging the most beautiful.
is do people wear special clothes or customize customs and is there special music or dancing? Please give me a very interesting answer on this topic. Let's start.
Mm, I think I caught what do people wear and special music or dancing. Did I get that right? If so, here's what happens with traditions around clothing, music, and dancing for Loic Krathong and Yipeng. People often dress nicely for these festivals. It's special and festive. Traditionally, many Thai people will wear their Lana traditional dress in northern Thailand if attending Yipeng events. You'll see beautiful silks and intricate patterns.
Please give me
The
answer.
clothes are usually lighter. White and gold being popular choices as they symbolize purity and new beginnings. For Loy Krathong in other parts of the country, people will wear more comfortable, colorful clothes as they're usually attending riverbank ceremonies or just going out with family to celebrate. You won't generally see traditional ethnic costumes everywhere, except during the official ceremonies or pageants. And yeah, there's definitely special music and dancing.
Okay, Maya, please give me answer. Maya, you are deaf.
Hey, how's it
Okay,
going?
so Maya, my question from you is: are fireworks used in celebration and do families celebrate at home or public places? So please give me answer on this question. Let's start once.
Sounds like you're asking about fireworks, both for celebrations and for families using them at home. What specifically are you curious about? Are you wondering about the history of fireworks, their safety, how they work, maybe cultural traditions around them? Let me know what angle you're interested in, and I can dive into that for you. I'm here when you're ready to talk about whatever's on your mind. No pressure at all. Got it. You want me to give you the answers about fireworks? Okay, let's start with a bit of history. Fireworks actually originated in China way back in the 9th century. They were originally made with bamboo that exploded when heated over fire. The technology spread from there, eventually evolving to use gunpowder packed into paper or cardboard tubes. Did you know that initially fireworks weren't really about pretty shows? They were mostly used to scare away evil spirits and bad luck, or even used in battlefields. The celebratory part came later when the colorful aspect developed. So, what about fireworks specifically at home versus large displays? Do you want to talk about the differences in regulations or safety aspects?
Okay, so Maya, my next question from you is: are there any special decorations and what do children do usually do during the festivals? Please give me very interesting answer on this topic.
Okay. You want to know about special decorations and what people do during festivals? What kind of festivals are you thinking about specifically? Different cultures and festivals have pretty different traditions, so it'd help me focus in. Are you curious about festivals in Pakistan or maybe somewhere else? Or are you thinking about a particular festival like Eid, Diwali, or something else?
Okay, so Maya, my next question from you is: are there games or competitions? What makes the celebration unique? Please give me very interesting answer on this topic. Let's start your answer, Maya.
All right, let's talk games and competitions that make celebrations unique. There's so much to cover here. hmm What makes celebrations special goes beyond just decorations, right? It's those moments where people really participate together. A really fascinating example is kite flying during the spring festivals in many parts of Asia. Think Basant in Pakistan and Punjab. It's not just about flying kites. It's this whole competitive thing where people try to cut each other's kite strings. It's super skillful, and there are traditional foods, music, rooftops filled with people. The whole city changes. In Mexico, during Dia de Muertos, the Day of the Dead, instead of competitions, you have sand art called tapetes, which are these intricate designs families create to honor their ancestors. It's almost like building temporary altars as art installations. For Diwali in India, there are often rangoli competitions, creating stunning floor art with colored powders or flowers. And then there's this festival called La Tomatina in Spain, basically a giant tomato fight. Totally chaotic, incredibly messy, and completely unique. What strikes me is how often these games tie back to really ancient traditions, right? Like the kite flying is meant to symbolize sending messages to the gods, or the tapetes are about honoring your family who passed. The games aren't just fun, they're ways of connecting with culture and history. Does any of that sound interesting, or did you have a particular kind of celebration in mind? Take your time. I'm here when you're ready to continue the conversation.
Yeah, that's really great answer. I really appreciate your answer and really interesting answer. So, is there special food prepared for the festivals and what traditional dishes are esteemed? So, please give me very interesting answer on this topic. Let's start to answer.
Okay, let's dive into festival preparations and dishes. This varies hugely by festival, but a ton of celebrations have one thing in common. It's all hands on deck for the food. If we're talking about Eid in Pakistan, for example, preparation often starts days in advance with shopping for spices, special ingredients like good quality meat, and making sweets. The real cooking kicks off the day before because Eid day is usually set aside for prayers and spending time with family. Sheer korma is a must. That sweet vermicelli dessert with milk, nuts, and dates. It's so traditional. And the biryani, or delicious curries, of course. Then there's Diwali in India. Homes are cleaned thoroughly to invite prosperity, and food is a massive deal. Lots of sweets like laddus and barfi are made from scratch. For Lunar's New Year in China, things are different again. Making dim sum and various noodles is traditional, as well as preparing fish because it represents abundance. You'll find families making these dishes together, the preparation becoming as important as the eating. With Thanksgiving in the US, everyone's prepping the turkey, cranberry sauce, mashed potatoes. Even outside of dishes specifically made for festivals, there's always preparation, setting the table, getting your clothes ready, decorating the house, making space for guests. What I think is cool is that for a lot of these festivals, the food carries stories. Each recipe is passed down through generations, right? The act of cooking together feels symbolic. Are you thinking about a particular festival right now or more just general preparation across all festivals? I'm still here when you're ready to pick up the conversation.
Okay, so Maya, my next question from you is: are there any sweets or is it specific to the celebration? And do people change the gift, the traditional greetings or phrase used? Please give me very interesting answer on this topic. Let's start.
That's a really interesting question about specific rituals and greetings used for celebrations. Let's dive in. So many festivals around the world have unique traditions that aren't necessarily about grand ceremonies, but are in the little gestures and sayings. Like Diwali in India again, you have Dandiya and Garba dances where people dance with painted sticks and colorful outfits. Or in Spain during San Fermin, running of the bulls, that's probably the most distinct tradition. And then there's the tradition of wearing red clothes during Chinese New Year because red is considered a lucky color that wards off evil spirits. When it comes to greetings, this varies so much by culture. In Turkey, during Ramadan, people say Ramazan Bayram Niyem Mubarak Bonchon, which roughly translates to May your Ramadan feast be blessed. And in Pakistan, during Eid, people say Eid Mubarak, wishing each other a blessed Eid. But there are more informal traditions too. During New Year's in many countries, there's the tradition of making resolutions. For Koreans during Lunar New Year, they perform a bow called sibe to their elders. And interesting little cultural quirks. In Denmark, people traditionally smash plates against their friends' doors during New Year's for good luck. Not quite as polite as sending a card, right? What's cool is how these small things end up becoming these important markers of cultural identity. It's like people know the new year isn't really here until you've been smashed with old plates, if you're in Denmark. Are you thinking about particular cultural greetings or traditions, or would you like me to, go deeper into specific areas? I'm here whenever you're ready to chat. No rush at all.
So viewers, this was Vermaya. I hope you like it. I made with a new man. Next topic. Thank you and Allah Hafiz. Pakistan Zindabad. Allah Hafiz.